Music to me is expression. So it's just, you give it your all. It's like telling somebody your story without words. So it's just like, it's like a book to me. Music is like a book.
I've listened to music my whole life, just growing up and everything, and it's always been just a big part of like me and my family and just bonding. Then as I grew up and listening to pay attention more to like the lyrics and everything, it just kind of seeing everybody's messages, like my favorite artists like J. Cole and his stories that he tells with it.
I see some miracles and doubted everything and anything that had to do with gaining sight. And everybody needs you till they don't. They swear they kill for you till they won't. And I ain't never been the type to hate. It's too much stacking on my plate. I pray to God that I don't choke. So I try. Step outside myself for good, but I can't help feeling so misunderstood. Matter how much I cry, the pain inside is still arise until my time is up. I pray to find some peace up here for good. I'm praying that you, yeah. I'm just waiting for you to stay. I'm just hoping that you could.
Music is an expression of emotion, an outlet, a fuse, energy. Is just, music is just life to me, really.
Music is, I mean, it's my reality. It's kind of what I escape reality from, but it's also what I always find myself going to whenever I have any troubles or any creative bursts. I mean, there's not a day that goes by where musically I'm not inclined to do something.
Yeah, it's just like, you can't have enough words for that question. Music is like, ever since a child, I've been in love with it. You know, starting with instruments, singing, even acting in plays and just hearing things and tracks. And as I got older and I started realizing more things in songs, and I just realized like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
My name is Ryan Van Bibber, and I'm the audio production instructor at the Fort Hays Career Center. I have always enjoyed teaching. I started teaching my classmates in my band class when I was like 11 years old. And so I've been teaching music since I was 11. It just always felt very natural. I enjoy explaining things to people, and I really enjoy sort of watching the look on their face change when they understand the thing you're trying to tell them. I really enjoy working with Columbus City Schools students. It's definitely a different culture than where I grew up, but there are a lot of similarities actually between the kids in southeastern Ohio in that rural area and the kids in Columbus City Schools in the urban area. I wouldn't trade Columbus City Schools for anything in the world. I've been here 19 years and I love it.
Mr. Van Bibber is a point of connection because before I got into the class, I didn't really have anyone who was linked into the music industry, really. So when I got into the class, he connected me with so many people that were able to help me in so many different ways. So I'm just thankful that we have the opportunity to be able to be in a room with someone who understands and has the same passions as us, understands where we want to go and can help make that possible.
Mugisha Donatien, and everybody in my class calls him Donnie, is in a category by himself. He is just amazing. He can write sheet music out for the Lyndon McKinley marching band. That's not something that every kid can do. He can make beats, he can rap, he can sing. He's such a good singer. He can play keyboard, he can play basically any instrument you just put in his hands, he'll figure it out. And he has this like stage presence that's very hard to teach.
I've been cooling, but sometimes I find myself up in my feelings. I've been trying to call your line, somehow I can't get to the healing part. I blame myself for being so misunderstood, cause I'm sending mixed signals sometimes.
This dude is gonna be someone in the industry if that's what he wants to do. He has all the talent, he has all the skills. He's such a nice guy. Like, he's a genuinely nice person. You can just tell he's had an excellent upbringing.
How you gonna call me worthless with my heart straight through my shirt? They say talk is cheap, but I swear your words they worth some diamonds. Even when the light ain't shining, they still work. Can't never replace you, that's why I cry, I cry.
When it comes to writing a song, I really try to channel from experiences that I've been through or I've seen other people go through, just so I can get an authentic feel. So when it comes to making music, I often get melodies just come into my head, you know, and I just just write them down, or I record them on my phone, and then I hop in the studio and just make it happen, just make it something that someone could listen to for hours.
Donnie is probably like, if there was a captain of the senior class, it would probably be Donnie. He works hard, he performs all the time, he's in the studio more than I am, and that's something that you can really look up to. I mean, he was the one that kind of started before everybody else, and a lot of times we'll look towards him. He just has an ear for music that a lot of people don't have, but he's also really supportive in an industry that's really cutthroat.
Put my feelings on this paper so I could delete them. And after all the time I wasted, I can't even flee them. They told me love was a drug, but I couldn't believe it. Until I took your pill and my heart escaped to my sleeve. I knew it was over when you told me you ain't care no more. Weeks on weeks feeling numb, my heart still on the floor. I'm desperately screaming help while all emotions pour. Helpless, screaming help, but still asking for more. Cause it's a messed up cycle, and I ain't never been here before. Feeling depressed about these struggles while my heart is at war. Can't understand the pain you put me through, I'm numb at the touch. My confidence is ruined, even still I can't give it up.
Being without an engineer is almost like trying to be a one-man band. So you're trying to do everything all together at once, one person. It's kind of heavy, and having someone like Devin there kind of lightens the load and gives someone to talk to while you're being creative. And another ear is always good for anyone.
I came in to the program as a producer. And, you know, I still produce my own music. I produce other people's music, and I'm also an engineer. My friend Donnie, I've produced a couple of his songs, and I've engineered a lot of his songs recently. So just being around people and showing them what I can do is probably the best way I've gotten my name out there.
Devin Hollis is one of my absolute best students in the class. He actually won the award of distinction this year in the senior class. Great beat maker, great mixing engineer, but mainly he's like really good with people. The other students in the class and kids from outside the class, they seek him out. They want him to run their sessions. They want him to listen to their work. They want his opinions on things.
And it's nice to see him in his element when he picked up like engineering and mixing, because I mean, he was always dope with the beats, but he picked up something that a lot of us hadn't really gotten hip to. And once he went down that route, now he's somebody that I come to check my mixes, to come to figure out if something sounds right, my leveling is good and everything like that. So he basically put himself in a position of power where we now look up to him.
The mixing is a huge step that many people don't know about. And I personally, coming into the year, I didn't even want to be an engineer. I hated mixing, but it's like enjoyable now, and it's super important. It's what makes an artist sound good. You know, like leveling vocals with a beat, leveling harmonies, leveling ad-lib stacks. Just, you have to have perfect chains, and sonically everything just has to fit. Things like reverb and delay are just extra effects that like bring the vocal together. It makes it sound more clean.
Connect the dots, best in my city, put my name on top. I be killing beats.
I just want a clean mix where nothing is harsh, nothing hurts your ears, everything is just gluing well together, and everything just sounds like it's meant to be where it is.
Got deals on deals, no five below.
It's been a long time coming, bro. I had to wait for this. I had to get my mind right. You never know who might be in a session. We kind of just invite people in from the class or even other classes here at Fort Hayes. It's just a creative space. It's a space for us to, you know, grow and to be able to create in the presence of others that are the same age as us.
So I actually had known Jay for a little while before class. I'd seen him in the dance groups at Fort Hayes. I didn't realize he was a music producer. He brings a real artistic vibe to the sessions he's in. You know, you'll see him sitting there looking like he's doing nothing. And he's really just processing, he's thinking, he's digesting the sounds, the ideas he hears around them, and then boom, out of nowhere, he comes up with a crazy verse or a crazy beat. He's a great rapper, he's a great producer.
Dreaming about cars with the chrome plated finishes. Bring on the checks is like Nike. I didn't know one in my class, so I don't take attendance, but trust and believe.
Definitely the funniest teacher I've ever had. Very open classroom, very comfortable, very interactive space. A class full of students that make different types of beats, that make that come from different backgrounds, listen to different music, and yet we're still able to build together.
Everybody has a different style. Everybody's style is different. At the same time, we use the same techniques. We get along very well, and like that's something I feel like chemistry is like you need in a classroom, because it gets everybody better. Chemistry, it builds people by like it builds your neighbor, it builds a person across the classroom. It just builds, it molds the classroom together. We always learn and we always ask questions from each other. Like a lot of times peers don't ask each other questions, but we ask each other questions and we help each other out. So I feel like that's what makes us strong and unique.
I have many students who are very creative. Students who come up with ideas that I would never think of. Students who listen to music and artists that I've never heard of. When a student is really like born for this, and you drop them into the lab or the studio for the first time, just seeing their face light up and then never dim is a really wonderful thing in this field.
Music has always been in my family. I've grown up around music. My family is a musical family. My grandpa was a part of Lakeside, the band. He was one of the former members that started it. I grew up in like Bible study class, so around gospel music, and all my family is gospel singers. And music has always been just something I connected with. I love every kinds of music. I love dance. I love writing music. I love it all.
I actually have a heavy interest in music. I really love music, and like as soon as I got into this classroom, I just fell in love with music. And it's something that always pushed me. I listen to it every day. It drives me. And I talked with my mom, and she told me that like my family background is music heavy on my mom and dad's side. So that it makes total sense on like how quick I'm able to pick it up. I find enjoyment out of watching videos and seeing other producers produce, and just the different sounds they bring to the producer community. So I just use that, and I try to be as versatile as possible.
I didn't even know he was a basketball player, because I didn't even know like he was tall, because everyone's on the same little size screen. I did get to know him as a music producer, and he would make great beats and very interesting, unique sounding beats. Like not just the same loops other people were using, but different loops, making his loops, chopping his loops in different innovative ways, just having a whole unique sound.
I like beats that have very good bounce and weird bounces. So I like unusual beats that have weird sounds in them, but if it sounds good, then I like it. How I'm feeling and how I want other people to feel or react to my music, just like human interaction with the music basically is what drives me, because a lot of times when I produce my music, it's based off how I'm feeling in the moment, and you will see that through my music.
See me proud of what I did one day, I'm gonna be proud of my kids. I know what I'm making for the times that I live, ain't done, can't go out like this. Hopefully I climb to the top of the list and be proud of what I did as a kid. My parents gonna be proud of what I did.
Sierra is a young lady in my junior class this year, and I'm really excited to have her in the class because she has such tremendous potential. She's a real go-getter. She has multiple talents. She can sing, she can produce, She has good studio prowess, and that's something that's actually kind of hard to teach. She was always, it was always obvious that she was very talented, but she has been performing a lot more and has just matured as a performer and as a musician. She's been performing at Hinkle-Moore High School, she's been performing here at Fort Hays, and she's been performing around the city with different organizations, and I'm really looking forward to what she's going to do next year as a senior.
I'm saying this because my emotions are heavy, and I promise that I'll keep this steady. Oh.
I have learned a lot about production. I know a lot about performing arts and like the front stage of performing. So I want to learn the backstage of it. So like production, how to mix and stuff, so I can like do my own music at home, the mixing part, and like so I can collaborate with my dad, who also mixes my music.
Seeing students succeed is always a great feeling, and seeing students succeed in part because of the things you have taught them is even better. I guess the best part would be seeing students who don't fit in other places find their niche in my class. That is such a deeply rewarding, satisfying feeling. Here is just this square saw one wave.
Mr. Van has been a great teacher. He's probably one of the best teachers I've ever had. I see myself in him sometimes because he's very smart. He picks up on stuff quick, and he's a very good explainer. He explains stuff very well, and he's very patient with us, but he also pushes us.
He's an amazing teacher, like funny, like relates to you really well.
Marcel Harris is one of my standout students. He's been working at WCBE as an intern this year, and he has a lot of talent.
I've learned pretty much all I know right now with just production, learning through music theory. He's helped me with that. Like I knew pretty much nothing when I came in. Now I feel confident in my skills.
Somebody pick a category. Mallet, okay? Magenta, that does sound impressive.
He's an amazing teacher, and it's not even a debate. He's coming here from junior year. Even through the pandemic, he's done his most to teach us and feed as much information to us as possible. Like, whether it be classworks or just conversations like man to man, like human to human, he's a great person, and he cares for all the students in this class.
Mr. Van Bibber, I love him so much. I'm so glad I chose his class when I came here. I don't know where I would be at without him. I've learned so much from him, and I appreciate him, and I'm going to miss him when I leave.
I mean, just so many students, just their normal daily work, a lot of it is pretty incredible. My favorite things are when students branch out. They go above and beyond the class projects, and they're working on their own music, because that's where their passion really comes into play. And I think they get the best results is when they apply what they learned in the class to their own material.
Overzealous when the fake get jealous. Jealousy is a dangerous thing to a human being. I'm always dreaming about simple things, thinking of future things.
I'm able to give my students projects and experiences with recording, with mixing, with mastering, with post-production, with audio for video games, with live sound. All of those things, beat making, songwriting, and then they go on to become professionals in that, and they end up knowing much more than me, which is the goal. That's what I want to happen.
You should join this program because it's just a great chance to learn and grow. You have to start somewhere, and as you continue to build, you will become something. There's just no doubt about it.
If you have a knack for being creative, like if you're that kid that used to be in classes just you know, tapping pins or just like beatboxing. If music and the process of creating music is for you, this is that program, because we have a good blend of people. It's such a great environment. It's definitely my favorite part of the day. For times where even if I miss the first half of the day for like an appointment or something like that, I still want to be here for Career Center.
Wanting to learn more about music and what it all really takes, and even like the business aspect.
It's a great experience. It's not just with producing. Like Mr. Van gives you a lot of opportunities to learn. He had a lot of speakers come in, and he gives us a lot of internship opportunities like radio stations.
It's a really good opportunity to learn how to create your own music if that's something you're interested in. Also, there's a lot of coding and technology.
You should join the program because you're going to be around people who want to do what you want to do and have the same interests as you. That's going to make you grow as a musician, an artist, and as an engineer.
My vision blurry, can't see the pain with my vision. It's probably cause I've been feeling division. There ain't no blood, but it's spilling. My body aching, revealing thoughts and emotions I'm feeling. Stuck in a cycle, I'm spinning. Torn all the cards I was dealing with. It's hard to smile when you feel like your happiness pilling. Like you know that the pain will hurt, but it just seems so appealing. It's hard to meditate when all the pain is still healing. Like all emotions tearing at you.
I just appreciate the fact that the people who came before me and the administration and everybody, all the teams were able to come together and make this possible for kids who want to go into this field and other fields at the Career Center.
This is what kind of built me up for real. I've tried other districts, but Columbus City has definitely put the most opportunities in my hands.
This program at Fort Hays Career Center is such a unique program. I've been all over the country and I talked to a lot of music technology teachers and audio production teachers. And one of the things that makes this program so unique among all of those great programs out there is that we are one of the only programs that teach both the electronic music beat making side. If you're a student who wants to be a part of this Career Center program or any Career Center program at Fort Hays, there's a spot for you in the Career Center. All you have to do is sign up your sophomore year. There's an application through Infinite Campus for Columbus City School students. You can also join this program if you go to Westerville, Upper Arlington, or Grandview schools, and you would go through your school to fill out an application. You can come and be a part of this program.